Today we're going to start this fourth section, which is the second section on the multiplication of polynomials. And we have two rules that we're going to learn today that's going to help us multiply monomials, and we're going to need to know how they get raised to a power. Okay? So let's go over that. Make sure you write this in your notebook, and make sure you all have this out. The first one is powers of monomials. For all positive integers, m and n, when you have a power raised to another power, you multiply the exponents. And that's how you find your answer. So if you have a to the m, and you raise that to the nth power, you have a raised to the m multiplied by n power. Okay? So to find a power of a power, you multiply the exponents. So let's do some of those.
I'm not going to show you
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. There we go. And so Weston, what is m cubed to the fourth power?
M to the seventh power.
I'm sorry?
M to the seventh power.
Who thinks it's m to the seventh power? Raise your hand.
No.
If you think it's something else, raise your hand. What do you think it is, Tim?
I think it is M to the 12th power.
That's correct.
Oh,
M to the 12th power. When you have a power and you're raising it to another power, you multiply the exponents, and that's how you find the answer of your new monomial. Okay, Katie, x squared to the fifth power is what?
X 25.
Who thinks it's x to the 25th power? You think it's x to the 25th, Alex? Who thinks it's something different? What do you think it is, Felix?
X to the 10th power.
That's correct. X to the 10th power. When I have a power raised to another power, I multiply the exponents, and that's my new exponent. So 2 times 5 is 10. Yeah? Sure. You have negative b to the fourth power raised to the fifth power. This one's a little trickier. So what do you think it is?
B to the 20th power. Negative B to the 20th.
You think it's negative b to the 20th power. Who agrees with it that it's negative b to the 20th power? Raise your hand. Huh? If you think it's something else, raise your hand. If you're not sure, what do you think it is, Weston?
Positive.
You think it's positive b to the 20th power.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's correct.
Yeah.
Notice here, what do you have? Notice it says for all positive integers, right? So you got to make that positive first. So let's see. So what do you have here? You have, this is really negative b times negative b times negative b times negative b, right? And what is negative b times negative b, Nathan? It's positive b squared. What is that times negative b, Katie?
Negative B.
Not negative b. Negative b squared times negative b. You have one more exponent you got to add, right? You have a squared there and a 1 there.
Yeah, negative B cubed.
Negative b cubed. Okay, so now it's negative b cubed. And Shay, what do I have then when I multiply negative b cubed and negative b?
Positive B times, no,
Yeah, positive b to the
4.
fourth power. And then I'm raising the whole thing to the fifth power. And now, Desiree, what's b to the fourth power raised to the fifth power?
B to the 20th.
B to the 20th.
No, I was going to accept the negative sign.
Right. Okay. When you took your negative b and you raised it to the fourth power, it became positive because this is an even number. What if this was an odd number? What if I have this, Weston? What would this be? Let's do negative b cubed to the fifth power. What would that be?
Positive b to the 15th.
Who else agrees with that? Positive b to the 15th.
I'm gonna guess yes.
You're going to guess yes. Anybody else think yes? Who thinks no? Okay, what do you think it's going to be, Eric?
Negative B.
Yeah, negative b.
Oh, yeah.
Because notice here,
Oh,
negative
we
b
got it
times
wrong.
negative b times negative b. So if this is odd, then this is going to be a negative number, right? Okay.
So the answer is negative b to the 15th power?
It is.
Dang it.
All right, let's look at the second rule. Copy down the second one.
Wait, Mr. Sager?
Yeah.
I'm so confused on that lesson back where like you had like b to the 5th and then you had b parentheses to the 5th. What's the difference?
Wait,
Hang on, pick some numbers. What were you saying? B?
Like b to the 5th,
Yeah.
and then you had another one with in parentheses.
Like this?
No, like b just by itself and then a 5.
Here,
They were
come up here, Weston. Write it on the board.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You write out whatever you
We
want.
had first we had like this, and then the other one was
You're right. You're writing in your own shadow.
Those are sixes or D's?
well,
Sixes? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
It's a b.
So what are we doing? Adding these?
no, like what do you? What's the
She wants to know the
difference?
difference.
Oh, what's the difference between these? Okay. All right, good. That's a good question. All right. So let's look at what they actually are. What do they actually represent? Okay. So this one is just saying negative 1 times 6 to the 5th power. So in other words, negative 1 times 6, and then there's 5 of them. Okay? That's what this is saying, okay? Negative 1 times 6 of those, or 5, I'm sorry, 5 of those 6s, okay? And so, to figure out what that would be, 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. So, it's going to be a big number. You could put that into a calculator, but
36.
you got to have 36
Oh, that
It's negative.
and times 36, right? But let me put it this way, before I confuse you with all the math. Is it going to be positive or negative? Because these are all positive and you have one negative. So what are you going to have?
there's 2 negatives.
Oh, that's the.
Well,
that's
this is a
sign.
multiplication sign, right? I'm sorry, the dots don't look that good.
It's gonna be negative.
It's going to be a negative number, okay? Good. Whatever that would be. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 would be a negative number. And it's going to be a big number, okay? What about this one? What is this one here saying? Notice you're not multiplying anything by negative 1. You're taking just the number negative 6 and multiplying it 5 times. So negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6.
But isn't that still gonna be negative because you have an odd amount?
Yes.
The answer would be
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever that big number is, this will also be negative. What?
That would be 7,776.
How many?
I'm like,
7,776.
I have a question.
So those are both negatives.
Wait.
However, if you had a positive exponent here, if that was a 6, it'd be a positive number. Okay. So if this is an even number, you have a positive, and if it's an odd number, you're going to have a negative number. Okay. This is going to be negative no matter what you have, right? Doesn't matter if this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's still going to give you a negative number. Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, finish copying down this.
Oh, I
The
was
rule.
wrong.
What?
I was wrong with that.
All right. I'm not worried about it now. I don't care what that is. So let's just copy down this. The rule of exponents for the power of a product. For every positive integer m, when you multiply two things, that's called a product. When you multiply two things, the answer is your product, okay? And if you're taking this product, two things that are multiplied, you raise that to a power, then you raise everything in the parentheses to that power. And did I? I'm going to end up having to apologize because I think I confused you before, didn't I? Because I copied.
Are you confusing us?
I am because I accidentally wrote an N here, but that's an M, right? Sorry, there's no M's in this problem. So when you take a product and you raise it to an exponent, you raise everything in the parentheses to that same exponent, okay? Sorry about that. To find the power of a product, you find the power of each factor and then multiplied. Okay. Everyone got it? Let's try a couple of these.
When do we get to the worksheet?
What?
When are we going to get to the worksheet?
That's all right. We'll get to it when I get to it, okay? All right. Let's see. Who hasn't won it yet? Eric. I have 2y to the fourth power. What's that going to be?
2 to the 4th power minus 1 power.
I'm sorry, say that again. 2 to the fourth power
And y to the 4th.
and y to the fourth power. Good. And what is 2 to the fourth power?
8.
That would be 2 to the third power. Because you're not multiplying 2 times 4. You're multiplying 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, and then another 2. 16. So this is 16 y to the fourth. Right? Okay. Who hasn't went yet? Alex. Negative 4 mn cubed. What's that going to be? I'm sorry? Not negative 12. You have negative 4 raised to the third power. And then what? M raised to the third power. And then what? N
I have a question.
raised to the third power.
Would you do the 4 times 4?
This one here is this whole thing, negative 4, because that was in the parentheses.
Okay, so would
So it
you
would be negative 4. So what do you have here is negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. What will that be, Elise? What would that be?
That would be 64, negative 64. Under the third power. Under the third power.
Good. Very good. All right. Shay, you can do the last one here. I have 4a cubed b squared, all raised to the fourth power.
4 to the fourth power. Do you add or multiply?
Well, that was the previous rule, so what do you think? It was, remember if
A
you,
to the 12th power.
a to the 12th power. Very good.
And e to the 8th power.
Okay. And then what? How do you finish it up?
So 4 to the fourth power would be 256.
Yes, it would.
And then a to the 12th power and e to the 8th power.
Oh, I love when it does the whole thing. What did you say? 256. 256. A to the 12th power, e to the 8th power. Okay. We're going to go over this worksheet now. The first thing I want you to do is when we go through it, I want you to tell me which power you're using as we go, okay? So I'm starting on the worksheet, and we're going to go through, we'll start with number 1, just the simplification, okay? So we'll start with you, Weston. So number 1, tell me which power you're going to use, or I'm sorry, which rule you're going to use. There was 2 different ones, right?
I'm on this right?
Yeah, we're doing the worksheet. It says 59 at the bottom.
It's on the right page, right?
It says 59 at the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1 says a squared raised to the third power.
It's,
So which of the two, see up at the top it gives you your 2 rules, it just rewrites the ones that you copied into your notes. So which one of those rules are you going to use? Start with that.
The rule of the exponents for a power of a power.
So you got rule of exponents for a power of a power. And what's the answer going to be?
A to the 6th power.
A to the 6th power. Good. Okay, Tim. Number 2. Which rule are you going to use?
Wait, when we're doing this, are we going to actually write them down or just telling you?
Just telling me. If you need to write it, you can. But some of these, your early ones, you can probably just do in your head, right?
First one.
We just did the first one. Now we're on 2.
No, I mean like it's the first rule.
Yeah, read, what, don't you tell me what the rule is?
Rule of exponents for power of a power.
Good,
And you get x to the 12.
good. Alex, number 3.
What page am
We're on the worksheet, we're not in the book. We're in the worksheet I handed out.
I? Number 3.
Yeah,
T15.
t to the 15th. What ruler did you use to get that? It's right on your worksheet, right at the top. On the worksheet, not your notebook. Your worksheet there, right at the top. See those two, those same ones we copied?
Rule of exponents for power.
For the power of a power. Good. Elise, number 4.
C to the 9 power.
And what rule did you use to get that?
I don't know.
There's 2 of them that we learned today, and they're right.
Exponents for power of power.
Power of a power. Good. Felix, number 9.
Rule of exponents for power of a product.
Good.
And 5 squared a squared,
Which is?
which is the rule of exponents for power of
Right. What is 5 squared a squared?
25 a squared.
25a squared. Good. Shay, number 10.
-6 squared and x squared, and that's 36x squared.
And which rule did you use?
Rule of exponents for power of product.
Power of a product. Good.
What was 9? What was 9 again?
25a squared. Desiree, number 11.
-9 t to the 6th power.
Close. Try again. Look at it again. How did you start it? You did what?
Danny
Let's see that. Yeah, let's see.
One on that sheet.
27 -27 t to the 3rd power.
Negative 27. Does everyone see that? -3 times -3 is positive 9. Positive 9 times -3 is negative 27. T to the t cubed. Very good. What power? Which rule did you use to find that? Desiree?
I use the rule of exponents for the power of a product.
The power of a product. Good. Nathan, number 12.
Rule of exponents for power of a product, and be 16 c to the 2nd power.
16c squared. Very good. Katie, number 14.
Oh, 14. -12t cubed.
Not negative 12, because you have negative 4 to the
negative-
3rd power, right? So you got to multiply negative 4 by itself 3 times.
64. Just kidding.
You're,
Alright.
you're close. T. You start out negative 4 cubed, t cubed.
Isn't it 64?
4 times 4 times 4 is 64. Is it going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
Because you have an odd number of negative signs, right? Okay. Everyone got that? Negative 64. Was that? Which number was that?
That was 14.
14.
What's the answer to number 13?
T cubed. I know we didn't do number 13 yet. No. Yeah. Do what? That's what we're doing right now.
That's what he meant.
No, that's not the homework. I put the homework on the board. These are just for us to go over in class, and then you can take them home with you. You don't have to finish it. Oh, no, you don't have to finish it for homework, if that's what you're asking. Okay. Weston, number 19.
Shoot. It's it's gonna be a rule of exponents of a product,
Good.
and it's gonna be one A to the second squared.
1A to,
One A squared.
all right. Anybody else? What does anybody else have?
2/4.
Okay, 2/4. What is that?
Added.
It's 2/4. Look, what do we have here?
Guessing.
If we do half to half.
Never mind.
That's what we have, right?
Yes.
So what is this? This is.
No, it's a,
Hang on. Make sure everybody sees it. 1/2 squared and A squared, right? But 1/2 squared is 1/2
Times 1/2.
times 1/2, which is
I was good.
1/4.
1/4, right? Not 2/4. When you multiply fractions, you multiply across the numerator, then you multiply across the denominator. So it's 1/4 A squared, right? Okay, let's see. Elise, number 20.
One nine.
Be careful. Just 1/9. You're multiplying 1/3 by itself 3 times. It's a negative number, so you have an odd number of negatives. So what are you going to have? Take your time.
It's 127. Negative 127.
Oh no, you had the 1/9 was right. Let's check out what you get.
Oh, okay.
Negative 1/3
Times 1 times 1.
A cubed. So you have negative 1/3 cubed, A cubed. Well, what is negative 1/3 cubed? Negative 1/3 times negative 1/3 times negative 1/3.
So
Multiply across the top.
3, you get 3 times.
Oh no, it was 27.
27.
I was right.
I'm sorry.
9 times.
So
3 is 3.
negative 1, but it's negative, right? Because you have an odd number of negative signs. Okay. Negative 1/27 A cubed. All right, let's go to the back side.
Okay.
And let's see, Eric. Number 22A. So here we have some numbers. So we're going to evaluate if x is 2 and y is 4. Okay, so we're going to do A. What'd you get?
216.
Okay. So this is what you have. You have 4y squared. We put in the 4 for y. So it's 4 times 4 squared. And then I'm not sure if you first multiplied and then squared, but remember your exponents have to come before your multiplication. So it's 4 times 16, or 64. Who else got 64? Raise your hand if you got 64 there. Okay. Felix, 23B. Also 64, good. Katie, 24B.
1,798.
Who else got that? Raise your hand. What did you get, Weston?
I forgot what I got. Just your numbers.
If you write it down, it helps. What'd you get, Desiree?
I got 500.
512. What'd you get, Shay?
216.
216. Anybody else get something different? Yeah, someone's right. Let's see.
Wait.
See who's on it.
It's xy cubed, and x and y is 2 and 4. So what do you have here?
I got 112.
2, 4 cubed. What's 2 times 4?
8.
8 cubed.
It's 6.
So what's 8 times 8 is
64.
64 times 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got
8 times 4 is 32. 6 times 8 is 48, and 3 is 51. 512.
Yeah.
Who said 512?
I
You did. Good.
too, but-
Okay. Yeah.
You want us to put our names for our students?
You're going to take these home. You're not going to turn this in. This is just for in-class practice. But you're up next, Nathan, and we're going to do
Wait,
28C.
is this homework?
No.
Oh, yes.
I'm just confirming.
You're taking it home. You can take it home to study with if you want extra problems to do, because I'm not going to get through the whole sheet. But okay, so 28C for Nathan. Did you get that? What'd you get?
No.
Okay. You have 2xy squared. X is 2, y is 4. Remember, you got to do your exponents first before you do anything else. 4 squared is 16. Now you just have a multiplication from right to left. 4 times 16 is 64. Tim. Number 30.
Okay. Alright. 27 n to the 6th power.
27 n to the 6th power. Who agrees with Tim? Raise your hand. Who disagrees? Raise your hand.
Nathan doesn't raise his hand at all.
All right.
Is it right?
Yes, he's right. 3n squared cubed. Notice what you have here. You have 3 to the 3rd power times n. Now when you raise to a power, and what 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. Let's see. Alex, number 33. Everyone do 33.
Okay, I got it.
$33. You said 1 over 16 x to the 6th. Is that what you said?
X to the 8. X to the 8.
X to the 8th. Good. Okay, you guys have the homework. Give it a good try tonight. We'll go over it tomorrow.
I'm not coming tomorrow. It's Saturday.
Oh, have a good weekend, yeah.
It's the same.
Wow.